Hey guys, we're back. Last we were with you, we were talking about WrestleMania 6, which was Warrior versus Hogan, in which the Ultimate Warrior, as very few men did in that time, defeated Hulk Hogan in his prime and became WWE champion. Now we're up to
that reign. Wait, that reign.
That reign lasted until the Royal Rumble, if I'm not mistaken, when Sergeant Slaughter defeated him, which led up to Hulk Hogan.
When he was the Iraqi
sympathizer, right. And that led up to Hogan versus Slaughter at WrestleMania 7 in a bloody match where, if anyone watches the tape, sees where Hogan blades himself, which was really dumb.
Well, of course, Vince, being the smart man he is, fitting match, fitting time. The guy
we were at war
at
that time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Sergeant Slaughter actually came to the ring wearing a bulletproof vest.
Yeah, he was scared shitless.
He said himself that after he defeated the Warrior that they wouldn't serve him in a restaurant just because he was an Iraqi sympathizer. But it was all
it was part of the storyline.
Yeah, well,
that was before wrestling was
more defined as it is now.
Because
back then it was such a close quarters thing. Yeah. But getting back to WrestleMania 7, and most people know
Undertaker, which was the debut of the streak when he fought Jimmy Snuka.
Exactly.
One of the quickest matches, I believe, that was in the streak, right?
Yes.
Only lasted what, 5 minutes?
And I think it was 125 seconds. No, not 125 seconds. It was very quick. It was a quick but painful defeat for Snuka.
Who knew? No one knew what was coming.
No one knew that The Undertaker would become so influential
17 years later, soon to be 18.
Anyone that has the WrestleMania anthology, that has the pleasure of having that anthology, will tell you that seeing him win year after year, it's only fitting. Because think about it, Hogan's the guy that created WrestleMania along with McMahon. Shawn Michaels is the guy that puts on the best performances that you remember at WrestleMania. But I don't think anyone that has a brain can disagree that The Undertaker is WrestleMania.
Is this, out of Undertaker's 2 decades that he's been in WWE, he has only missed two WrestleManias.
And if he didn't miss those 2, he would be 20-0 at this point. But that match with Snuka, the way he dominated Snuka in that match, and even Snuka said himself that he was meant to be in the wrestling circle. Getting on forward, WrestleMania 8, monumental in the career of Bret the Hitman Hart. He defeated Roddy Piper in a brutal encounter, and I believe that
made Piper's first loss, right?
That was Piper's first time that he was ever pinfall loss.
In the WWE or his whole career?
17 and a half years, no one pinned his shoulders to the mat until that night when Bret beat him. That was a great match. WrestleMania 8 as well, the main event, one of the main events. There were 2 main events that night. Hogan and Sid with a botched ending. I think we all know about that.
Well, let's talk about
Sid was supposed to stay down for the leg drop.
And he kicked out.
But let's talk about Flair and
Savage.
And Randy Savage. 2 guys, because...
Was this the first main event Hogan wasn't in?
Hogan was the last match. Hogan was the last match. Of course, McMahon has his hand-picked favorites.
But, this is... Flair's coming off the infamous, I'm the real world champion, because he left WCW.
With the gold belt.
And he still had the big gold belt with him.
And I'll tell you something, the Royal Rumble where he won the title, that was one of the best performances I've ever seen in my life.
Thanks to Hogan.
Thanks to Hogan because he pulled out Sid.
Yeah.
But
Flair had a lot of luck in his career.
He said himself he's the luckiest guy in the world. But all of us have used that line once. But Flair and Savage, that was one of the best matches that Flair and Savage have had in their whole careers. That was just amazing.
And then you had WrestleMania 9.
I
think that was Hogan's last WrestleMania for like 10 years.
Exactly.
9 years, yeah.
And that was the first ever outdoor WrestleMania, if I'm not mistaken.
That was when Taker fought the Giant Gonzalez.
That's not even worth talking about. As much as I love the streak, that match, nobody